Happy New Year, everyone. Today I'm going to be going over my DVD and Blu-ray collection, which is way more extensive than what's displayed in the living room here. I've also got these cases that fit like 400 odd in them. I'll be going through these, not extensively. This isn't planned. I haven't tidied anything up, so not everything is at its best, but I decided I was going to do this today at 10 o'clock in the morning while my neighbour is blasting rave music for some reason. Not sure if you can hear it, but I definitely can. Yeah, the carpet's a mess because Henry has been drinking too much, haven't you, Henry? His batteries need recharging. He's had too much to drink. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Back in 2010 or 11, I sold off the majority of my DVD collection. Not all of them. I kept stuff like TV series like The Simpsons, Family Guy, and rare like horror movies. But for the most part, I got rid of most of my physical media collection, including around 200 to 300 VHS. Now the VHS I didn't even bother selling. I just threw in the garden and stupidly didn't take the artwork out of the cases, and it rained and they got soaked and ruined. The only VHSs I kept were some horror films. I kept all my Friday the 13th VHSs because these are ex-rentals and are the original ones that I actually watched. There was a video rental shop near where my sister lived and I was doing work experience. I went back there one day and they were selling them all off for £1 each, so I bought each one of them. So these are the actual VHSs that I first saw these on. I also have them on DVD and on Blu-ray. We'll get to that in a bit. I've also got stuff like Trick or Treat, a very old copy of Scanners, the Twilight Zone movie, The Evil. I've got loads of Beavis and Butthead in the attic, Vampire Midnight, Salem's Lot, The Return to Salem's Lot, which if I remember correctly isn't a terrible film, which is not something you can say for a lot of 80s or 90s straight-to-video sequels. But I have a soft spot for them. These VHSs that I own are in surprisingly good condition. This copy of Scanners, which was released by Guild Home Video in August of 1981, making this VHS older than me, plays perfectly fine. I'm just gonna unplug my headphones so you can hear the sound. I mean, the picture quality is going to be bad. What is it, like 240p? But the sound is fine. The actual video is fine. To be 44 years old and still work that well, you know, I'm impressed. But things were built to last back then. So back in 2016 or 17, I want to say, it was rumoured that Disney was going to get into the streaming business. Now, there were also rumours of others like Warner Brothers starting up. And that's around the time that I started to think maybe getting rid of my physical collection was not a good idea after all. So one day in 2017, I walked into my first charity shop. Now, obviously, there's charity shops around forever, but it never occurred to me to go into one. But I went in there, and DVDs were like £1, £1 each. I bought 24 box sets for £1. I actually remember picking them up, and I thought, well, this can turn into a hobby where I have to try and find the rest of the seasons in other charity shops. So it became this really like cheap hobby where I could go to charity shops and rediscover the excitement of buying DVDs at like HMV or W.H. Smith's or Woolworths back in the day. And it'd be more exciting because you don't know what you're going to come across when you go there. You'll come across some gems, lots of films I've never heard of. I spent a lot of my childhood watching B-movie horror films. thanks to a video shop in Bangor called Gemini Records. I went there when I was about 14, 15. I used to spend my paper round money there. I was looking at all these like Vipco 18 rated movies, and I went to the counter with some 15s, certificate horrors, and he went, "I've got a few more under the counter here if you'd like to have a look." And it was like films that were rated 18. I think that was his way of telling me, I will serve you 18s, given that you're looking at all the strange like Italian knockoff horrors and all that, so you're clearly into horror. Here's a bunch more. These are 18s. I'll sell them to you. He didn't say that, but that's what he's basically telling me by presenting me with them. So that's what I'd do. I'd go there like every other week and spend my paper round money on horror VHSs until around 1999 when I got a DVD player. My first DVD was The Blair Witch Project, which I still have. I kept that copy. This is the original copy that I bought in 1999, I believe. Yeah, I also have a second copy of it now here, as part of the Blair Witch double bill. But I kept this one because it was my first DVD. So yeah, really early on in streaming services, I started to see the writing on the wall. I knew where it was going. It was going to get more and more expensive with the more and more competition there was going to be. And we'd just end up with Sky TV, but on the internet, basically. Or if you're American, cable TV. This collection might annoy some of you. Some sequels are on Blu-ray and others are on DVD. If that's the case, sometimes they just end up in these cases down here. I'll get to these. I've got 8 of them, and they're mostly full. You can fit about 400 to 420 odd in each case. We'll get to that. It might infuriate you about some of the ones that are in there, but I just don't have the room for all of them. I have some newer films on DVD that I would prefer to have on Blu-ray, but if I can find them for like 20p each, like what's the point buying the Blu-ray? The DVD is good enough as it is. My projector is deliberately, this projector here, which projects onto the wall, is deliberately a 1080p projector, not a 4K, because DVDs look like crap on a 4K television. This is in alphabetical order. All these are in alphabetical order until you get to about here, then it's just hodgepodge. There's some TV series down here. All the numbered movies are here. So we've got 28 Days Later and Weeks Later and 1917, 2001 A Space Odyssey, 30 Days of Night, 21 Bridges. And then we go into A. I've got some of these are also Region 1. So if I find Region 1s, I just buy them because I have 2 Blu-ray players up here. One is a Region B, which is our country, and then the top one here, they're both the same make as well. This top one here is a multi-region DVD player. And all I do is just switch the plug and the HDMI if I want to watch an American movie. I believe I'm missing an Anaconda film, I'm not sure, but if I spot it in the charity shop, I will add it to the collection. What I also do is everything, if I'm missing a film, I'll write it down in the notes app on my phone. So DVDs to look for, and this is everything that, you know, I'm missing. Like I've got That 70s Show, season 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 8. So I'm missing like 5 and 6. So I know which seasons I'm missing. So if I see them in a charity shop, I can buy them and add them to the collection. This is a bad copy, really. The aspect ratio is a bit weird. And I believe it's a double disc. They did re-release this, I think, on Blu-ray recently, but there is an issue of animal cruelty, so there's a few seconds cut out in the UK version, I believe. So if you want the full version, you're gonna have to buy it in America. Arachnophobia, Adventures in Babysitting, that's a great film. Altered States, that is a great film too. The Abominable Dr. Phibes. There is a sequel here somewhere. It might be in D. Not sure why. I usually keep the sequels together, even if they've got different titles. After Hours, the airplane movies, Ace Venturas, Apocalyptico, which I still haven't seen yet. I need to add that to the shortlist. This I found in a charity shop. This is Amityville 3D. It has glasses and postcards and everything in it. Yeah, that's a rare find, that one. Also, some very bad Amityville sequels. I'm always on the lookout for the other ones. I almost bought them on Blu-ray recently, but they're a bit expensive. I do try to buy at least one Blu-ray a month. This month's is, I'll just go over here. Sorry if I'm going a bit all over the place, but this month's Blu-ray purchase was The Mask, and I've got Band of Brothers here. Elmo is watching after these because these are on the short list of what I want to watch like this weekend. So I want to watch Band of Brothers and The Mask. I got Blood the Last Vampire. This is really good anime. I've got some anime. I don't tend to collect much of it though. Batteries not included. Awesome film. This is a very early Peter Jackson film. The guy who directed the Lord of the Rings movies, which I still haven't seen all of, and are up here on DVD. I have the original 1978, I believe, cartoon movie, which had a bad, was a production nightmare apparently. I've got the Hobbit films as well. Most of them are on Blu-ray. So yeah, it's a bit scattered. Also, you'll see there the Friday the 13th Shout Factory box set, which is Region 1. So that's why I needed the Region 1 player, is for stuff like that. Because that is a very expensive box set. It cost me over 100 quid. So I have all these on VHS, DVD and Blu-ray. I didn't want to keep the DVDs, so what I've done is I've made some origami like cases just to stop them from getting scratched. And I just added them to the Blu-ray collection. I have some duplicates here as well. Like, let's pick one where I know I have two of. Here's one I definitely have a second copy of. Blade. I have a newer DVD version, which probably is a better print. And then I've got the old entertainment and video release here as well. What I've done here is I've just taken a double case and replaced the case with a newer, shinier case, you know. So if I go to a charity shop and it's like 5 for £1 and there's only 2 that I want, I'll take the other 3 and I'll take the sleeves, I'll take the duplicate and add it to what I already have, and I'll take the sleeve and put it in a shoebox, which is what my table is made of. So I've basically made a collage of cartoon DVDs and made this table out of the South Park box sets and Coraline and Up and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Wacky Races. These are mostly in the sleeve cases, so I had no need for the actual artwork, so I kept it all, and I have a shoebox upstairs just full of DVD sleeves. I also made a Beetlejuice because I found this quirky like frame, and it's the frame is very Tim Burton, isn't it, like that kind of thing. So I thought perfect if I put a Tim Burton film in this frame. I made that with my Futurama box sets. This one I actually really like this. It was my first ever proper go at doing a collage, and it turned out alright, didn't it? I think it did anyway. This, I was given this. This is a very strange, I don't think I can show the full cover. You can buy this online. It's not like dodgy to have or anything, but it's just a film about a woman who's having sex with this like weird beast creature. Very strange film. I wouldn't keep it, other than the fact that I wouldn't keep it because it's not a very good film, but It's rare, so might as well have it in the collection. I'm sorry, I'm quickly going to go through these now. I bought this recently in a charity shop, Before Sunset, which is Ethan Hawke and Julia Delpy. It's kind of like a romantic film, and it's set in real time, so it's just them meeting up. I had no idea it was part of a trilogy and the second movie. I really liked it, so I bought the original one, which came out in 1995, and that is also very good. And I recently just bought this, which is a French copy. Luckily it's in English. Yeah, this is the third in the trilogy, and each release is like 10 years apart. And I thought this one wasn't as good as the other two, but it's still very good. Yeah, so if you like romantic movies, the Before Sunset or Before Sunrise trilogy. I've got Basic Instincts 1 and 2. 2 is bad, isn't it? Blood Simple. Now this is a great film. Coen brothers, a very like early 80s movie. Check it out if you haven't. I got Barbed Wire, which I don't believe I've seen. I just thought, you know, I might as well add it to the collection. There's a lot here. This is going to take forever if I stop all the time. Clerks 2, which is I do have Clerks and Clerks 2. Clerks 2 is the best Kevin Smith film in my opinion. This is an underrated sequel. Carrie, The Rage. The Rage Carrie 2 is an underrated sequel. I also have the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz. Not bad, you know, it's not a patch on the original though. This one, the first time I had a major jump scare is at the end of this film when her hand just comes up out of the grave. Yeah, I was proper watching, because this is when I first saw this, was in my bedroom, didn't have a phone, didn't have anything distracting me. I was purely in the film, and it made me jump. Like, I don't think a horror film has done since, to be honest. I don't think a horror film has made me jump since. It's weird. You just get desensitized to it, I guess. I have the Crow franchise, despite the fact that the first one is the only decent one. For some reason, CSI, I guess because this was a TV special directed by Quentin Tarantino, I guess that's the only reason that's there. And I haven't started collecting CSI yet. I've got CSI New York for some reason, but I have a weird obsession with New York, so I decided to start collecting that. The only one I'm missing from that is season 4. I know too much about this collection. It really is sad. I have a soft spot for the straight-to-video Children of the Corn movies. These I really like. They're not great films, but to me they are. I have the Child's Play remake. Also have the Blu-ray box set up here. So I have all the Child's Play films. Cujo, that's another great film. I cancelled streaming services a long time ago. I do have Netflix at the moment because there's so many comedy specials on. It's Christmas time. Plus Stranger Things. But once I finish watching them, I will cancel streaming services. I've got plenty of DVDs here to last me forever. I've got some Arrow DVDs as well as Blu-rays. Oh, the Deep Blue Sea movies. I've got all 3 of these. I believe I've only seen the first one, which is a classic. I'm not holding out hope for these 2, but I will get to them. I've got the first Dune, the newer remake, but I don't have the sequel yet. Death to Smoochie. This was a good find. I actually enjoyed this. Robin Williams, Danny DeVito. This is directed by Danny DeVito. The Exorcist. I have the original and Believer. The second movie is crap, but I do have the third one here on Blu-ray, which is an excellent film and has one of the biggest jump scares in horror. It's amazing jump scare. It didn't get me though, unfortunately, but that's what I read. Is like it is a good jump scare, to be fair. Fifth Element, Friday movies, The Fly. I have all the Fly films, including the original 1950s or 60s Fly, which I haven't seen, but the David Cronenberg movie is great. And so actually I do enjoy the Eric Stoltz straight to video sequel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Fright Night is a fantastic film. I'd love to get hold of the second one at some point. Frighteners, this is originally was a Tales from the Crypt production, which I have all of on DVD. One of the first things I did when I actually got the internet was I went on eBay and I bought all the Tales from the Crypt DVDs, which are up here. I've got every single season. They are Region 1, but it was way easier to hack DVD players to Region 1. I do have one upstairs, but you can't really do that with Blu-ray players. You have to like buy them separately or know how to deal with the software inside. Back with DVD players, all you had to do was either download something onto a disc and then put that in, and then it would become a region free, or there's just a code that you put in on your remote. But no Blu-ray players are that easy to hack, so yeah, unfortunately I have to buy one, and it cost me like over 100 quid for that Blu-ray player. Groundhog Day, which is a 10 out of 10 movie in my opinion. Ghost Dog, which is Forrest Whitaker. This is a good film. Here's an underrated film, Green Room, starring is it Patrick Stewart? Yeah, Patrick Stewart. Yeah, this is based on a punk band play at a neo-Nazi club, and they witness a murder and they get locked in the green room, and it's very suspenseful, very good film. Try and get hold of it because it's very good. The Halloween movies, I'd like to get these on Blu-ray at some point. The only one I do have are the 3 newer ones, which I believe are all good in their own way. Halloween Kills, not so much, but the kills are fantastic in it. And Halloween Ends, I think, is a great film, but it's a bad Halloween film, if that makes sense to you. It does to me. I like the film. I just don't like the idea that it's a last like Halloween movie. It's not a great Michael Myers story. If you see anything here you'd like to discuss or recommend me to actually watch, because I've probably watched some of them but not all of them, so yeah, just pause it and let me know, because I can't go through all these. We'll be here forever otherwise. This House box set, I recently watched the 3rd one. Hasn't aged very well, but I do have nostalgia for a lot of them because I grew up on them. Hellraiser Inferno, I do have the first 3, but they're in a Hellraiser box, so they won't fit on this shelf. Idle Hands, that's a great film. The Iron Giant, I actually got 2 different versions of this. This is apparently a special edition, and then I've got the another edition there as well. So I've got 5 Insidious movies. I can't even keep up. I don't even know how many Insidious films there are these days. I think there might be one more. Isle of Dogs, this is a good film. Not I Love Dogs, Isle of Dogs. Said that a bit too quickly then. In Bruges, this is a fantastic Christmas movie actually. Got all the Jackass movies, except the 4th one, which I do have, but it's on Blu-ray. Kill Bill 1 and 2. Kingpin, fantastic film. Krampus, the original is good, all the sequels are trash. I threw one away. I'm dreading actually watching the other 2. I might not even bother. Oh, all the Saw films are here, apart from the 10th, because I got that on Blu-ray. Sleepwalkers, another great Stephen King 90s movie. The Short Circuit movies. Speed, still haven't seen Speed 2. Super Mario, there's some new, if I find these for like a quid, I will buy them. I prefer to buy newer films on Blu-ray. I don't mind watching old movies on DVD because they weren't shot on they were shot on film, so I don't mind watching them with a bit of grain and not having a perfect picture. But newer, more modern movies, I try to buy on Blu-ray because, you know, everything's shot in HD these days, isn't it? Love this film. I have two editions of that too, I know. Phantasm, Prey, the only The only Predator movie I have on DVD, all ironically, being and it's the newest one, all the others I have on Blu-ray. The Rambo films, we could be here forever, look. Planet of the Apes, the Psycho Collection, Orgasmo, which believe it or not, I still haven't seen. Nuns on the Run, this is a British film with Robbie Coltrane and Eric Idle. Two bank robbers. Yeah, two bank robbers trying to escape, so they dress up like nuns and stay at a nunnery. With hilarious consequences. All the Monty Python films, Moonstruck, Maniac Cop, Me, Myself and Irene. That is going on the shortlist. I want to watch that. I'm a sucker for My Girl and My Girl 2. I love both of these films way too much for an adult man, but I think they're great films. All the Leprechaun movies. I have a lot of the Hammer horror collection up here as well. This box was given to me by Kieran of the Dippy Donuters, YouTube friends of the channel. Thanks, Kieran. I have watched a couple of them. I really like old horrors anyway. Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. The original and the second one I have on Blu-ray over there. WWF/WWE wrestling collection that I have. Any WWF one I've had since they were released. Like I've got The Rock, the Mick Foley collection. This hardcore DVD is pretty good. My favourite two pay-per-views, probably of all time, are Royal Rumble 2000 and ECW One Night Stand, which is a WWE production from 2005. Beyond the Mat is a great wrestling documentary. The Turtles movies, which I'm thinking of buying on Arrow Blu-ray, but I got the first, second, third. And the remakes, Tropic Thunder, which has one of the best DVD commentaries of all time on it. The Tremors movies, including the newer ones. That needs to go in the attic. I watched that over Halloween. The Unbreakable trilogy, so this is what I mean when I say they're not in alphabetical order. If the sequels have a different name, I try and keep the franchise together with the first, you know, the first letter of the first film. So this is the first film is called Unbreakable, so they're all under U. It's just easier for me to find them. I've got all the urban legend films. They're a bit of a mess from here on. Wayne's World films. War of the Buttons, which is a Irish film from the early 90s. And here we have like TV shows from like here for whatever reason. I've got the comic strip, which is Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mayall. I'm looking for the first two live ones, if you know where I can get Bottom Live 1 and 2. Filthy Rich and Cat Flap. I have all the Red Dwarfs, including the newer ones. Beavis and Butthead collection. I've got every Simpsons box set that was ever released, bar one. I don't have season 20. I've got every Family Guy released set. Unfortunately, they've stopped doing that too. For some reason, I started collecting the X-Men cartoon, the original one. Also doing the same with Spider-Man and Transformers. I've got the Incredible Hulk. The League of Gentlemen, which I've never seen. I got the bill for Christmas as a joke present. Come On Midfield, which is a Welsh comedy about a five-a-side football team. It's really good. I'm looking out for the other, I think, 7 or 8 volumes. I've got volumes 7, 4, and 5. I think there's 11 volumes in total. I've got some Saved by the Bell DVDs. Here's some live music DVDs that I've collected over the years. I just like to put these on when I'm like chatting to people. This is a rare one. It's footage of Metallica back in the early days from the 80s. Some of their stage settings are quite fascinating in my opinion. You don't get stuff like that these days. I'd have loved to have seen them live back then. There's a lot of anthology TV series up here. A Danish show called The Bridge. I'm looking for season 4 of it. I did start, it's pretty good. I've got the Alien I got this Alien box set for £2 in a charity shop, which is a bargain. And I've got all the other Alien films as well, including Prometheus and the newest one, Romulus. Back to the Future trilogy, Fantasia, all the Evil Deads, including Ash vs Evil Dead. Obviously, I love them. Deadly Friend, which I watched the other night, that's a new Arrow release. That's the one I bought last month. And from here on out, they're kind of like out of order. They're not in alphabetical order anymore. I do need to sort here out. I've got all the Spider-Man movies on Blu-ray because for whatever reason, my favourite superhero movies are the Spider-Man films. Also got the 2 animated ones. This one isn't even open yet. Lost Boys, fantastic film. Yeah, there's the Predator box set, and I've got... Oh, this is really good if you can find it too. No One Lives. It's a WWE production movie. Kind of like a slasher, I guess. Rick and Morty, I'm trying to collect them all. Missing the newest Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray as well. The Substance, which is quite new. That's a good film. The Maxine trilogy, X, Pearl and Maxine. That is a good modern horror trilogy. Set in the 70s. Set in the 30s, 70s and 80s. Yeah, all the Scream films are there. Now, I'm going to quickly flick through these cases. As for the cases of DVDs, now that I've got all 8 together on the floor here, it does seem a little crazy. There's almost 3,000 DVDs in these cases. Some seasons are missing, so let's start with case number 1, which is 24. I do have every episode. Misfits, which is a UK TV show, then the Osbournes DVDs, The Office UK, The Royal Family, every season of Friends. I was pretty much given them for free. Every episode of Men Behaving Badly, Scrubs, I Am Alan Partridge, Everybody Loves Raymond, which is actually a show I haven't seen yet. I've got loads of Top Gear, like all the best, all the specials and that from over the years. Deadwood, every episode of House, every episode of Lost, Chernobyl, 11/22/63, Bates Motel, Prison Break. I've only got till season 4 of Prison Break. And then every episode of Only Fools and Horses, Banshee, An Idiot Abroad, Breaking Bad, every episode, including the Netflix special El Camino, which is about Jesse's escape. And every episode of IT Crowd, apart from the final one, which I'm not even sure they released on DVD. All of Supernatural. I am missing a couple of seasons of this. All the missing seasons are written down in my phone, and I also leave the correct amount of gaps to fill in those seasons so I can carry on filling up this. Yeah, I've got Elementary. I don't have every season of that either, so there are gaps. Brass Eye. Peaky Blinders. I'm missing about 2 or 3 seasons of that. Missing some Orange is the New Black, but I have most of them. This is what's fun about it. I mean, I might stumble across these in a charity shop tomorrow. You just don't know. And then once I finish collecting them, I can start watching them. I've got most, but not all, of the Marvel movies. Anything to do with the Avengers and all the build-up towards the Avengers movies. Doctor Strange Part 2, I think I have on Blu-ray over there. Paddington movies. There's a bunch of comedy specials here as well. Also, a load of Vipco horror DVDs. These are probably worth a lot of money now, especially now, the David Lynch collection. But I've taken them out of the box set because I just don't have room for them. Plus, I'm keeping them anyway. Hunger Games. I'm missing one Hunger Games movie. There's a bunch of Disney Pixar movies. Avatar. I don't know if I'm going to bother with Fire and Ash, the newest one. Here's a bunch of Christmas films. They're not in any particular order, but if I just write anything down on my phone, I can find out what page and what case it's in. I'm missing the first 2 seasons of Heroes. I've got every episode of Nip Tuck here. Every episode of Seinfeld, so I can actually start that soon. I've got every episode of Goodnight Sweetheart, which is very good. Also, The Twilight. It's guilty pleasure. British comedy football movies. These are like courtroom drama movies. These 2 anyway, at least. And I've got the 2 Craze films, which is Legend and The Craze. I've got every episode of American Dad. Green Wing, Father Ted, more comedy specials. I'm trying to rush through these. Karate Kid. You know, there's a lot here. Every episode of Futurama that was ever released. Apart from the new seasons that were released on Hulu. All the American Pies. Mr. Bean the series. The Omen movies. Every episode of Frasier. American Horror Story. I don't have every season, but each season is a different story, so it doesn't matter. But I have left gaps for them. I've got every episode of The Munsters. Every episode of Skins. Blackadder. Jackass, the TV series, but the DVDs of the TV series are crap because they didn't bother paying the rights for all the music. Steve-O, Faulty Towers, all the Fast and Furious movies, apart from the 10th one, Hobbs and Shaw as well even. I've got every single James Bond movie, including the last one, No Time to Die. I'm getting bored just going through this, so I'll just point out some highlights. Every episode of Sex and the City, yes, even Sex and the City. Every episode of Shameless UK, which I don't enjoy as much as I do Shameless US. Every episode of The Office US. The Star Wars movies, I think I'm missing like 2. God, I've even got the Despicable Me movies. The Wire, which I still haven't seen. Every episode of Sopranos. Could be here forever. Look Who's Talking franchise, the Harry Potter movies, Sister Act, Rocky movies, the Godfather and Home Alone franchise. I'm missing the last Police Academy. Otherwise, I've got them all. Same for Underworld, I'm missing like 1. The X-Files, all the way up to the actual reboot, which is here. This is the reboot season. And then I've left a gap for the last series and possibly 1 more. So, and then you got Fringe. Love the show. I can't wait to actually revisit all that. Then we got more then we got more Warner Brothers superhero movies. Meg 2, Shark movies, Rise of the Foot Soldier movies, Sons of Anarchy, Eastbound and Down, the CKY DVDs, every episode of Viva La Bam. I'm currently watching ER. Here's where I've actually got a problem. So with a lot of the TV shows, I kind of like binge watch them, and this is the first time I've encountered a problem. Now the ER DVDs are quite cheaply made. They're double-sided as well, so they can fit more episodes onto less discs. I've had issues with certain seasons, and I've written them down so I can, if I find them in charity shops, I can replace them. But I'm having the issue more than once with watching ER, where some of the discs are degenerating, and that could be due to how they were stored. I'm on season 13 now, so I've almost finished them. The episodes I couldn't watch, I just downloaded. But I'm on season 13, I've almost finished. But most of these films, because they're written down as well, I can check whether I've got them or not when I'm in the charity shop, so I won't buy them again. The Transformer movies. That 70s show, I'm missing a couple of seasons here. But like I said, the gaps are there. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Got all of those. Mad Men, which I need to start because I have now finished collecting all that. Dirty Sanchez, I think I'm missing 1 season. So I've got every season and the movie. All of True Blood. Dexter, I think season 4 is damaged, so I'm looking out for a new season 4. But other than, yeah, I've got most of them. I think I've left a gap here for New Blood, which is a good series. I need to get that. The Mad Max movies. Sherlock. Jimmy Carr. Every episode of Steptoe and Son, and then I've got every episode of South Park, including the newer seasons. I left a gap here for some more. I'm missing a couple of the specials as well. My Name is Earl, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all of Game of Thrones, bar the last season, which I've left a gap for. Ghost. Beethoven movies, Turner and Hooch, The Mighty Ducks. Oh, Cheers. I left gaps for Cheers because I found one season of Cheers so far. Oh, I love this documentary. The 102 Minutes That Changed America is, I really like watching that. I find this morbidly fascinating. Looney Tunes and Wacky Races, every episode of Cracker. Oh, every episode of How I Met Your Mother. King of the Hill. I'm missing a few seasons of this, but I've left gaps for it. CSI New York. I'm missing season 4. And then, you know, I've got every season other than season 4. The Wallace and Gromit collection. Lots of kid animated movies here. Looney Tunes. We've got lots of Looney Tunes here. The Problem Child series. Sandlot Kids. And that's it. That's all of them. I still have all that to fill in. Right, well, it's New Year's Eve as I record this, and I'm about to sit down, have a pizza, and watch The Mask on Blu-ray. People have been asking for this, so that's why I did it. I don't expect it to get many views, if I'm honest, because, you know, a tour of a collection is kind of dull for most people. But there you go. I have done it now. Happy New Year. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, other than sit here, eat this pizza, and watch The Mask. And once I've done that, I'm going to decide whether I go out and bring in the new year with people, or I just sit here with another film, or I'll probably end up watching ER, if I'm honest. Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next vlog. You know, it's been a long time since I watched this film, but that was a lot of fun. 8 out of 10.